It's AJZulu here, and welcome to this Kayle rework talk. I have a few thoughts to say and some observations that I see when people were talking about Kayle, and that she might just be too weak. And what's interesting is that how she's like very weak in the early stages of the game because she's still like a melee champion until level 11, and even then you might struggle a little bit to get all your 5 stacks. And I would like to sort of talk what are the other possible options, and it's just a conversation. It's no recommendation that it needs to be changed or anything, just to test thoughts here and there. But it really comes down to the passive. Before we get into the passive, which is the main topic, is that Divine Adjustment allows her to again go invulnerable and then do this like tons of damage, but you're not able to attack while in it, so that's a little bit weird. And as many other people have said in the past, that's why I'm just sort of repeating it to keep the video a little bit more complete. Maybe she should be able to attack. Let's do a few more tests. Technically she couldn't cast any spells as well. Try again with the Q. She can't cast any spells. Can she heal? Nope, cannot heal. So that sort of thing. So cannot cast spells, cannot attack while in the ulti, so that's not too great. The next thing is that when she's with the tower, I think most of you might know by watching other people's videos that you cannot charge up your passive while hitting the tower. I think it's also to prevent you getting that first attack speed buff and then sort of taking the tower much faster, but I don't think that's a great reason, and it just sort of limits Kayle's early game more than it needs to in the first place. Okay, so with that said, let's get into and also it just seems strange that let me just sort of level myself max to try to see what it's like. Ooh, looking pretty awesome. So now she's like fully range, but let's see if this is her attack, and then we see sort of a small delay in the E. This is the regular attack, and I press E and like it seems like it's already have like a lot of attack speed, but like while playing other games, it seems that there is like a delay while trying to use some of the abilities. But maybe, as we can see right here, late game it might not be too much of a problem, especially if you are in a position like an ADC, being in the back lines or far away and just free to attack without worrying about the enemy sort of diving into you and trying to burst you down first. But yeah, let's get into the passive, Divine Ascent. So as we all know, Kayle only gets her passive attack range at level 11, so it's a decent distance away and needs a lot of time to farm up to get at least some attack range. But if she's ascending, and the theme here is that she's slowly growing in power and that she slowly becomes like a ranged champion, would it sort of make sense that at least in level 6 she gets a little bit of range, or even level 1, but level 1 we might not want to touch that at this point. But basically at level 6, let's say, when she gets her 5 stacks, she actually gets sort of 250 range instead, or 200 range, and that's sort of the starting point. And then only at level 11 she gets the full 550 range, and then level 16 she gets that range permanently. In other and this sort of allows to sort of smooth Kayle's sort of curve from early to mid, just smooth it out. Right now it's like maybe a little bit too steep between her being absolute monster at level 16 and level 1 being absolute trash tier, and with the meta and what a lot of other people are sort of mentioning that it's a lot of early game focused, and so if Kayle is already going to lose the lane by default because she's just that weak, not having her old E giving her at least some range in the early stages of the game, she's like more weak and she would just lose the lane, and she might never be able to catch back up to be able to carry in the later stage, because again the game is already over. The second thing, and I'll need to check again, is that she needs to stack up 5 times no matter what, and so maybe the stacking feature of like 5 stacks in level 1 could sort of go down over time. So like level 6 she only needs to stack up to 4, max minimum of 3, and then level 11 it is between sort of 3 and 2, and then level 16 is sort of technically like a 1, or as we know, unlimited, so it's permanently open. So again, we have sort of this smooth curve between having many attacks to stack up 5 times, whilst as she level up she no longer needs to stack up too much or needs too many attacks to stack it up. But this is sort of another variation that I would like to sort of talk about. But yeah, be sure to comment below what kind of build you're going to test out. This current one that I'm seeing, of course people are picking up Nash's Tooth. She's like an attacking champion, and a lot of people, since she's already late game, might as well get lethal tempo and get as much damage down as possible. Gunblade seems to be really good since she has some AD scaling in her kit as well, and it's just great healing with her abilities. And then we have Rhyolite Crystal, just a little bit of HP. Even with this, she's only at like 2300 HP. Slows and all that good stuff. Zhonya's a little bit more protection just in case she ultis someone else, and then she has the Zhonya's to protect herself when she uses her ulti on someone else. Rabadon's always good since she's going to be auto attacking, and it would just buff the Nash's Tooth damage and Hextech damage. And these sort of runes, feels like or appears that Kayle has a little bit of some mana problems in the early game, and since we are not building any mana items, she might love to have some of that and just a little bit more CDR for her other abilities. And here Divine Judgment is at 48 seconds, and I can only imagine what if we had like the other cooldown reductions, like the one that's like give you 10% cooldown, or the other one in Domination Room, the Ultimate Hunter one. But with that said, it's just a small talking about her kit and how a lot of people are saying that she might need some buffs and she's a little bit too weak. But her late game is absolutely very strong, but early game might need some help. And this is just the topic I talked about. But with that said, hope you all enjoyed, and if you have any other ideas, always there's the comment section down below for you to comment, and I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.